So welcome, guys. We are in week 2 of our doTERRA products A to Z. My name is Nicole Vincent. I am a Diamond with doTERRA and a holistic health coach. This is my awesome family. If you want to hear more about us, check out week 1 in the Essential Oiler group. Just a reminder, I'm not a doctor. This is educational purposes only. I am just here to teach you and educate you. I'm not here to prevent, treat, cure, diagnose any disease or condition. So with that disclaimer in action, let's get this show on the road. We've got a lot of B's. So this week we are covering all the B products with doTERRA. The first one is Balance. This is a favorite in our house. This is also known as the grounding blend. It is a blend of spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy, and blue chamomile flowers in a base of fractionated coconut oil. And so it's got a beautiful bluish green tint that I just love. And it smells very earthy and grounding, but not too earthy. I love it. I think it smells really awesome. Balance does what it says. It's very balancing to the system, very supportive. So it helps support a whole body feeling of relaxation. When I was first starting with my oils, my husband, of course, was very skeptical, right? Raise your hand if you got some skeptical husbands out there. But he is my Mr. High Stress in our family. And he came home from work. He was so stressed out. He was making himself feel very, very sick and just very yucky. And, threw himself on the bed, just like, dying, of course. And so I just gotten my Balance in the mail. It was probably, I think, my first or second shipment after my first kit. And I was very excited to try it out. And I was like, hey, can I try this out? He's like, whatever. And so I grab my Balance and I rub it on his feet. And then I go to the restroom to wash my hands and brush my teeth. And it wasn't even 5 minutes, guys. And he's like, Nicole, what did you put on me? And I'm like, oh, crap, I did it wrong. Like, it's burning him or something. And he's like, I feel 100% better. And it just really, Balance just really helps melt that stress away and just helps you feel on a more even playing field, so to speak. If your emotions are running high, maybe you're in a more anxious feeling state, Balance will help calm you down. If you're in a more down and out blues type state, Balance can help bring you up. So it really does get you into that middle ground. Use it before bed for a restful night's sleep. This is an oil that I actually use when I get up. It goes on the bottom of my feet. And when I go to bed, it goes on the bottom of my feet. This is very, very good for the, I'm glad you like that story, Charlotte. Balance is really good for the electrical system in our body. It really helps because we have our cells. That's how they communicate, right? Electricity. And if that's all jacked up, it can't give and receive the right messages. And so Balance is really good at helping that flow in our body go smoothly and work to our advantage. So I love it. You can apply it to wrists or the back of the neck to help with anxious feelings. You're feeling a little nervous or a little down and out. I love Balance. I love to combine Balance with whatever other mood oil I'm in. If I'm feeling a little bit nervous, anxious, then I might combine Balance and Serenity. If I'm feeling a little down and out, then I like to combine Balance and Citrus Bliss or Balance and Elevation or Balance in one of our new emotional aromatherapy oil blends. So this is a staple in our house. We go through this a lot. This is always in my husband's pocket. I always have some in my purse unless I've given it away in a sample. But I absolutely love Balance. This is one that we want to use aromatically or topically. It's very gentle. I've heard lots of people also use this to help in diapering, to help soothe occasional skin irritations that can happen with diapering. So I love Balance it's kind of like when in doubt, use Balance almost. Like if it has anything to do with mood or emotion, Balance is kind of my default because I think it's going to help anybody. So let's talk emotionally about what balance actually does. So this is a really great way for people to connect with their roots. It has a lot of tree oils in there, and so that is very grounding, which helps us feel connected. And in today's world, we're on our phones all the time. We're on computers. We're living in this virtual world. And so balance can be very, very important for grounding us. And remember how I said balance is really good for the electrical system in our body? Well, as we are on laptops, we're on our phones, we're on our tablets, that electricity in our body gets jacked up as well. And so balance can help restore that. And emotionally, that has actually a really big effect on how you feel emotionally. So just keep that in mind. If you're feeling pretty blah, you might want to put some balance on your feet and step away from the electronics, because there's a lot of electric smog, so to speak, that can jack with your emotions. It strengthens connections with the lower body and the earth. So a lot of times we're all up here, right? We're thinking, we're speaking, we're working on our spirituality, it's all up here, right? And so we kind of get out of our body a little bit in this virtual world. And so balance is really good at connecting you and grounding you. This is really good for those that like to escape from life through disconnection or disassociation, especially if you like to do it in the virtual setting. So if you're feeling disconnected, or you see that somebody's being disconnected or disassociating themselves to escape, then balance can be a good one for that. It teaches true perseverance by assisting the individual in staying present with a specific plan or idea until it's completed. So instead of running away from thing to thing, it helps you stay there. So negative emotions that it can help with are feelings of being ungrounded, unwilling to take responsibility for self or for life, disconnected, unstable, or scattered. Positive properties of balance are going to help you feel that body connection and stability, perseverance, self-contained, grounded, and inner strength. So guys, really, if you're not using balance on a daily basis, please start. It will make a big difference. Cassie, that's an awesome observation. Really, guys, don't discount the power of like stepping away from your phone. And this isn't necessarily a talk about that, but the electrical and Wi-Fi and all that stuff has a big effect on our bodies. And so you need to be mindful of that. And balance really does help balance that out a little bit. So definitely use your balance on a daily basis, multiple times a day. The next oil we're going to talk about in our series is basil. This is one of my favorite oils because it is very multi-purpose. And as you'll see on these slides, when we have a blend, we're not going to see the chemistry because of course, as we have multiple oils, the chemistry is going to vary. But when we have a single oil, I'm going to show you the chemistry. Now, understanding the chemistry, and if this is something that speaks to you, I have an entire series of chemistry and essential oils on my essential oiler group. So please check that out if that's something that interests you. But it's something that helps you understand the diversity of an oil. So basil is steam distilled from the leaves. It is grown in the Western United States. So it's a made in the USA type herb that we're using for our oils. This really promotes mental alertness and helps calm anxious feelings. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling scattered, basil can be a really great one. Yes, it smells like basil. It's very grassy smelling, but I love to combine it with lemongrass, especially for that mental clarity. It helps ease monthly feminine discomfort. So if you have, if you're having some issues in that area, you can combine basil with some Claricon, because basil has properties that help. I'm trying to say this in the most compliant manner possible. It's going to help soothe occasional spasms. And when we're cramping during our regular feminine monthly cycle, there are spasms that are occurring. So think of different spasms that can happen in the body: digestive spasms, respiratory spasms, throat spasms. Basil can help in all of those areas. It does serve as a cooling agent for the skin, so this could be a more gentle alternative to peppermint if you need to reduce the body temperature. Maybe you're overheated in the summer months, or something along those lines. But basil could be very effective at, like that, maybe across the forehead or along the spine to really help with cooling. This is definitely one to use in cooking. Use the toothpick method, where you just take a toothpick, you dip it in the oil, and then swirl it in your finished product. And just do that until you get the desired flavor. You don't want to pull full drop. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but it can be very delicious too. So and I'm not really one to give cooking advice because I don't cook, but it can definitely help. It is very strong, so definitely use the toothpick method. And if you look at the chemistry over here on the right, guys, this has a lot of various chemistry in it, natural chemistry, that is going to help this oil be used for a lot of different purposes. So it can provide temporary relief when you have ear discomfort, or maybe you have some muscle discomfort. It is, Naomi, it is great for bug bites. We've been using this on the mosquitoes are out in full force, and so we've been using basil and lavender with the discomfort associated with bug bites, like spiders, things like that. Basil is really great at helping relieve that discomfort that comes with that. This is one that we can use aromatically, topically, or internally. It is not a hot oil, but if you have sensitive skin, please be mindful. And if you're using that on your children, you definitely want to be diluting it. For ear discomfort, you just put it around, just take a little bit, take your, I don't have any bottle oil close. Here's my giant Terra show. We'll pretend this is the bottle. So you're just going to flip it on your finger like that, and then just rub it along the outside of the ear. You can also put a drop on a cotton ball, and then just set the cotton ball inside the ear. And if you've got a little kid that likes to pull that out, then you can just remove or take a Band-Aid and just hold it on there. So it is just a great oil to use for multiple different reasons. So I like to layer this with the deep blue for muscle discomfort that comes from, working on the weekends, just regular activities. We also like to put this in the diffuser with frankincense or lime to help with respiratory support and spasms that can occur in the throat. Look how compliant I'm being. Sorry, I just had to give myself a little pat on the back. And so heard you should have the drops facing outward when using a cotton ball in the ear. Ashley, you can. It's going to depend on the oil. So if it's a hotter oil, then I typically will add some coconut oil to the cotton ball, because that can burn and be very uncomfortable, because that lining of the ear is sensitive, and you don't want to stuff the cotton ball into the ear. Just set it there gently. And I really normally I'm just lazy and I just kind of wipe it on the outside, the back, and the front and back of the ear, like right here. And then whatever's left after I've done all that, then I'll just kind of wipe on the inside, and we're good. And you just repeat that a few times, and that can really help ease some discomfort. So it really is great for any kind of occasional pain that you might have, joint or muscle pain. I really like to combine it with, deep blue or aroma touch or past tense, and really, it's kind of like sock it to them. So I love basil. Very, very versatile oil. Emotionally, basil is amazing. So it is the oil of renewal. It helps with feelings of overwhelm, fatigue, low energy, and inability to cope with life stressors. So one thing that basil is really great at, it's great at supporting healthy adrenal function. And so our adrenals are kind of our major glands that help control a lot of the hormone production in our body. And I'm not talking just female, male hormones. I'm talking all these other hormones that are the messengers throughout our body. So basil is really great to help support healthy adrenal function. So just keep that in mind. So back to the emotional. So emotional, excellent for states of nervousness, anxiousness, or feeling down. It really supports those who are under a great deal of mental strain. So if you've been trying to learn a lot of stuff, maybe you've been watching a ton of webinars, you're trying to assimilate all this information, basil is really great. And I would recommend that if you're doing that, or you're studying, maybe you're in school, basil and lemon together are really, really great for combating that mental overwhelm or mental strain that can happen as you're trying to learn and assimilate a lot of information. It brings rejuvenation of vital forces after long periods of burnout and exhaustion. So if you've just been pedal to the metal, going like crazy, basil can really help you kind of catch your breath and kind of feel rejuvenated after feeling burnt out and feeling just done. So you can put it on your feet, you can put it in a diffuser, you can even put a couple drops in a capsule and take that down, take it internally. This is also very useful and helpful in addiction recovery. So if you or someone you know is battling an addiction and can use some support in that, basil can be a great one. And another oil that we're going to talk about today is helpful for that as well. This definitely gives hope and optimism to the tired soul. So negative emotions that it helps with are feelings of anxiousness, weary, overwhelmed, tired, drained, exhausted, or addicted. Positive properties that it instills are feeling energized, renewed, rejuvenated, rested, and strengthened. So Callista, definitely put some rosemary in there, because rosemary, you can do rosemary, basil, and lemon, and that can, and even peppermint. So you could put all 4 of those in your diffuser, or even make a roller bottle of those 4 oils. So that was lemon, basil, rosemary, and peppermint. And those can be really, really great for not only dealing with mental strain and mental overwhelm, but can help you actually retain the information. You can skip it, but rosemary is phenomenal for memory. So if you're, I would, and it's not an expensive oil. I think it's like $15. It's not pricey. If you don't have rosemary, eucalyptus or basil are pretty, good overlaps that can help with that as well. So let's talk about bergamot or bergamot. You're going to hear it both ways. I typically say bergamot. I started out saying bergamot, but I don't know when it switched over, but now it's bergamot or bergamot. See, I don't even know how I'm saying it. But this is a citrus oil that I didn't even know it was a citrus oil, but it is a funny brain-looking shaped citrus fruit that is grown in Italy. And the oil is cold pressed from the rind, and it is used in perfume a lot. And if you have smelled bergamot, oh my gosh, it is heavenly. Oh, I love the scent of it. It's not as, it's very mild, and it's not as kind of in your face as wild orange or lemon or grapefruit. Is very kind of subtle, but oh, it is so amazing. Oh, I love it. So diffusing this, now before I get into the uses, I am going to warn you guys that this is the most photosensitive oil out there, which means if you apply it topically on your skin and then expose that skin that you applied it to into the sun, you will have a very bad burn. So, and for this one, you need 24 to 72 hours after topical use to go out in the sun. So this is not an oil that I like to apply topically during the summer months, because I'm out in the sun a lot more. During the winter months, it's not a problem because I'm not having as much skin out in the sun and there's not as much sun. But because I know a lot of women, they like the smell. They put it right here on their chest because it's like, a diffuser, but then they'll go out in the sun and then they end up with a burn on their chest. So guys, be careful when applying this topically. Give it a good 24 hours at least before going out into the sun. If you do have to go out in the sun and you did apply your bergamot, make sure to put some good non-toxic sunscreen on there. Put some helichrysum or arbor vitae, which have natural SPF properties. I don't even know if that's compliant. It probably isn't, but natural sun protective properties, put that over there so that way you're less likely to get a burn, because I've seen several people have permanent skin discoloration because of the bergamot. Now, that only applies if you're like, if I put it here on my arm and then this part goes out in the sun, then yes, that part will get burned. But if I put it like as a deodorant, unless I'm, putting my pits up to the sun, I'm not going to get a sunburn. Does that make sense? Or if you're using this internally or you're using it in a diffuser, you don't have the same issue. So please keep that in mind. So this really helps instill a sense of self-confidence, and we'll talk about that more in the emotional properties. It is very calming and soothing. It is it really is great for the skin, but I would just be very, very careful with it just because of the sun sensitivity. And it's very purifying. Great to put in your tea or your water, and I just love it. Now, the chemistry of bergamot compared to other citrus oils is very unique and very diverse. So most citrus oils are heavily monoterpene hydrocarbons, but you can see here on this chemistry that bergamot is only 56% monoterpene hydrocarbons, and then it has a lot of other awesome properties. The main one being esters, which are incredibly calming. So I love this oil to sleep. This oil helps really promote a restful sleep for me, and I sleep beautifully when I use this. And I'll use it either topically, I like to do it on the back of my neck, or I like to put it in a diffuser, or I like to put it in a capsule and take it internally. The reason that this is so photosensitive is because of the coumarins, and that is a type of compound that is found in cold-pressed citrus oils, and that causes the oil to be photosensitive. Now, when you can actually take those coumarins out. Intune, for example, has lime in it, and the coumarins in that lime that's in the Intune have been taken out because they figured that, hey, people are going to be putting this on the back of their neck and their throat. We need to take these out, which you do sacrifice some of the properties of the oils when you do that. So ideally, you don't want to take them out because you want the full chemistry of the oil, which really helps everything work together and just really helps that oil be very beneficial and therapeutic. So you don't want to take it out unless it's a factor, unless you're saying, hey, let's put this on the back of our neck like we would in Intune. So I love bergamot. Let's talk about the emotions. This is where I think bergamot shines personally. And bergamot can be really great for calming anything in the system. So if you're having, maybe you need some digestive calming and digestive support, bergamot can be really, really great there. You can take it in the capsule. You can apply it topically on the stomach, things like that. But emotionally, bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. Who doesn't need a little self-love, right? We are typically the hardest on ourselves. So bergamot really helps relieve feelings of despair, judgment, low self-esteem. It invites individuals to see life with more optimism. It has a cleansing effect on stagnant feelings because sometimes we get stuck in a rut, right? We just have a hard time getting out. And we have those limiting beliefs like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or I'm not strong enough, or, blah, 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 whatever those limiting beliefs could be. And we all have them. Bergamot is really good at cleansing those out and helping you truly see your potential. So bergamot's powerful cleansing properties generate movement, which when we have movement, guys, it brings hope, right? It helps us get out of that rut. It awakens the soul to hope and offers courage to share our inner self, who we truly are. And it helps us to let go of self-judgment, to not be so hard on ourselves, and by learning to love ourselves unconditionally. So this is an oil that I just love, and I think every person could definitely benefit from this a little bit. So negative emotions that it can help with are feelings of despair, low self-esteem, self-judgment, unlovable, or hopelessness. And positive properties it instills are feelings of self-acceptance, optimism, confidence, hope, lovable, and feeling good enough. So birch. Now, I was going to skip birch, but I thought that it would be beneficial to have this in there to give you a little bit of a dangling carrot to get to convention, because typically that's the only place you can get birch. Now, I'm not confirming that I know that you can get birch at this convention, but the past few conventions, our convention kit has included a 5 milliliter bottle of birch. So birch is, it's a beautiful, beautiful tree. We get ours from Canada. It blends well with a lot of oils. It is steam distilled from the wood. It has the same active ingredients that wintergreen has, but the molecules are a little bit different sizes. And so I have found that birch typically penetrates a little bit deeper and helps provide even more relief than wintergreen. You can massage this into your hands, backs, legs, feet for a soothing and warming sensation. You can put a few drops on a cotton ball and you can use it to help neutralize odors in stinky areas. But with birch, this is precious, guys. You're not going to get a lot of this. So I would be very, very sparing with your birch. Apply it to the skin to reduce the appearance of blemishes. You can diffuse it. It is also used in oral health products to help with oral health and whitening. So chemically, it is almost all esters, which, hold on, let me pull up the right term of which ones this is, but it's mainly methyl salicylate, which is kind of like aspirin. It's similar chemistry. Now aspirin is going to be created in a lab, but it has the similar properties, but this is natural version. Okay, so keep that in mind. It also has a little bit of monoterpene alcohols, but those esters are incredibly, incredibly calming. They're known for helping to support a healthy inflammatory response. They're known for rejuvenating the skin and balancing the nervous system and emotions as well. So emotionally, birch is the oil of support. So this is going to help those that feel unsupported. It gives them courage to move forward alone, even when they're feeling attacked or unsupported. It offers supports to the weak-willed to stand tall and firm in what they believe. It can help an individual to feel their roots, especially their connection to family and ancestors. With these tree oils, they really do help with that generational tie, which is really cool, especially if you're into family history, genealogy. These oils can be very beneficial for you to help feel that connection. This can assist in overcoming negative generational patterns, especially in situations where one is at risk of being rejected if they choose a different way. So that can happen sometimes, right, guys? If we're trying to do something against what our family has always done, then we stand that fear to be rejected from those that we love. And this can really help you stand firm in what you believe and what you want to accomplish. It also teaches that there is more to life than pain, and that with the right support and the right grounding, one can be held up and sustained by divine grace. So negative emotions that are addressed are going to be feelings of being unsupported, alienated, fear, weak-willed, or overly flexible. Positive properties it instills are feeling supported, firm, resolute, strong, grounded, and connected. Calista, that's awesome. She says, this is my family in a nutshell. Where have oils been all my life? I think we all feel that, right? We all see these oils and we're like, oh my gosh, like as we learn and we grow and we gain these understanding, it's just like, oh my gosh, what could I have done if I would have had these 5-10 years ago? And that's why it's so important, guys, that even if you don't want to do the business, that you go out and you share what these oils can do and how they can bless other people's lives, because we all wish that we would have known sooner. And that's why I feel it's so important to share, even if you're not wanting to pursue the business. Share and then give them a referral to the person that shared with you or whatever. But get people oils. They need these. They need these, not just for the physical support, but for the emotional support as well. Okay, black pepper. Let me take a drink. Hold on. So black pepper, I think the smell of black pepper, it smells like pepper, but it's a lot smoother, a lot softer than you would expect. So of course, this is used to enhance food flavor. This is great in salad dressings and other cooking. Again, use the toothpick method so that you're not totally killing your recipe with too much pepper. It is sourced from Canada. So, oh no, that's just kidding. No, black pepper is sourced in India. It is steam distilled from the berries. So it is a very, very rich source of antioxidants. It really helps support the circulatory system. It has a warming sensation, so it can help, increase some circulation as well. And as we look at the chemistry, so you can use black pepper aromatically, topically, or internally. And it is a more sensitive oil, so make sure you're diluting it as needed. You can apply this to the bottoms of the feet to help you wake up feeling energized. It really just helps give you kind of that zip, especially like in the afternoon. I like to apply some black pepper to the bottom of my feet, like around 1 or 2 o'clock, and just kind of help me get going. And that kind of happens as it supports our healthy circulation. Yeah, it definitely can help with spasms in the throat, respiratory support as well. This is the other one that can help with addiction recovery. And so we can combine this with basil, either in a diffuser or in a roller bottle or in a capsule to help with addiction support. So keep that in mind if you've got somebody that might be working through addictions. Definitely very calming to help with feelings of anxiousness. This can be very soothing to tired or sore muscles. We like to use this, and you don't need a little bit, but we'll use this for sore muscles in our family, layered with deep blue, and that helps a lot. Again, the chemistry, it is very much there to help support the inflammatory response, a healthy inflammatory response. It helps with environmental threats. This is an oil that is in our On Guard Plus blend. So if you've got some environmental threats going on, this definitely can boost up your immune system to help support it and help it be nice and strong. So love this oil. It definitely gets used in our home. Emotionally, and this is one that kind of, when I first was learning about the emotional properties of oils, this one just like threw me, like this was like, oh my gosh, this is so spot on. So black pepper is the oil of unmasking. Now, a lot of times we are going through life and we are, we're kind of putting on that mask, right? Or a facade of what we think other people want us to be or want us to say or want us to act. And black pepper really helps us to get real, to really kind of take those masks off, take those facades off, and dig deep and truly find ourselves. And so I credit black pepper for helping me in my emotional work. It helps reignite your soul fire, gets you motivated, helps you get into that high energy space, and hasten your healing process. So as you are working through your junk, black pepper can be very, very useful. And you can use it topically, you can use it in the diffuser, you can use it internally. And it is just, it's a powerhouse, guys. And a little bit goes a long way. It really helps give the individual strength to overcome the challenges and issues that they carry inside, and invites them to live with an integrity within themselves. So instead of putting on a show, instead of putting on that happy face, or playing a part that they feel that they're supposed to play, black pepper can really help you get into that state of authenticity. So negative emotions that it helps with are emotional dishonesty, repressed emotions, feeling trapped, prideful, superficial, or judgmental. Positive properties that it instills are emotional honesty, authenticity, courageousness, motivated, self-aware, and personal integrity. So I love black pepper for so many reasons. So yes, love black pepper. So this is our last product of the day. And sorry, this one went a little bit longer than I normally go, but there were a lot of bees. So this is our bone nutrient complex. And this is our minerals, vitamin mineral supplement that are it's going to help support, healthy bone health and healthy mineral balances as well. So it's going to provide calcium and magnesium and other trace minerals. It has vitamin D2 and vitamin D3 as well. And it's got very bioavailable. So your body's actually able to absorb it and use it. And that D2 and D3 are important for the body to actually be able to use and absorb calcium. And this teen, adult women and men can take up to 4 capsules daily with food. Guys, I will tell you that this supplement is not just for old women. I think that almost everyone can benefit from this supplement because, guys, we need, and I'm going to go on a slight tangent here, so please bear with me, but many of us are nutrient and mineral, especially mineral deficient, because as our bodies, as we're eating our normal American diet, as we're drinking our Cokes, as we're eating our sugar, our body gets into a very acidic state. Now, the blood has to stay at a pH level of 7.4, I believe. That might not be the, it's a very, very, 7.6. Thank you, Calista. It's a very specific pH, and it doesn't have a lot of wiggle room, or you die. Okay? Now, the body is going to do anything and everything it needs to do to keep that pH at the right level. And if you are too acidic, where is it going to get those minerals from? Where in our body has a ton of mineral stores? Our bones, guys, our bones. And so as we are constantly in this acidic state, and I would probably say at least 80 to 85% of us are going to be in an acidic state. Our body is going to be leaching minerals from its own bones in order to maintain that pH state. So if we are not supplementing with the correct minerals, we're going to have a problem. Now, yes, you guys, this isn't going to be a whole spiel on diet, but you've got to get into a more alkaline state. But this can definitely help with that. Now, if we don't have the right minerals, not only are our bones going to weaken, our cells cannot communicate properly. Okay? It's very, very, very important. So this, and I've done a lot of Zyto scans, and it was crazy. I think the bone nutrient probably came up more than anything on the, I don't know, probably near 1,000 Zyto scans I've done. And it's because we live in a mineral deficient society. So this is something that I definitely recommend pretty much everybody taking. And I don't take the 4 capsules. I typically just take 1 capsule a day. Sometimes if I've had a soda that day, a caffeinated soda, because I do like my Dr. Pepper once in a while, I will take a couple extra. But because caffeine, so if you're a coffee drinker, caffeine also leaches minerals. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't brush this off as an old lady pill. This is can definitely benefit your health and benefit your mental health as well. Because if you do not have the right minerals, your brain cannot make the right connections. It all fits together. So this is not an expensive supplement. I think it's like $17.50, and you get like 180 or 120 capsules. Like, it'll last you a while. It's a really good deal. So really great supplements. Calista, message me. She has a question about the Zyto device. Shoot me a message, and I will send you a link to get that Zyto if that's something that you're interested in. So that is the last product for today. Oh, I lied. Okay, the replay is going to be on my Essential Oiler group. Oh, shoot, I got to hurry up because I've got a noon appointment. Okay, so Breathe. Guys, we all know and love Breathe. This has laurel leaf, peppermint, eucalyptus, melaleuca, lemon, ravensara, and cardamom. This does typically need to be diffused for younger sensitive skin, and this is one that we're going to use aromatically or topically for respiratory support. So it really just helps open those airways and promote easy breathing, seasonal threats, and just any kind of respiratory support that we need. So emotionally, and this is a powerhouse, guys, in the emotion category. So if you love Breathe, if you can't get enough Breathe, I've had a few of these people in my life, then let's look at the emotional needs. Okay, this is the oil of breath. So when I wanted to, where did my reference book go? Hold on. I want to read this to you guys because it's very, very powerful. So the respiratory blend addresses the inability to let go of grief and pain. The individual in need of respiratory blend struggles to breathe and literally feels suffocated by sadness. The lungs and air passages become constricted, preventing air and emotion from releasing. The root of this condition is feeling unloved. The individual grieves the love they never received. They often shut down due to fear, not knowing whether the love they need will be there. They distrust whether it's safe to open and take in life. Respiratory Blend encourages individuals to release grief and sadness and to receive genuine love and healing. The Respiratory Blend also supports individuals' relationships with spirit and deepens one's connection to life. It invites individuals to let go, breathe out, and receive, breathe in. In this way, this blend teaches individuals to embrace life through breath. The Respiratory Blend imbues individuals with the courage to fully open. And when you look at the emotions that affect the lungs, then it is spot on with this. So I love this oil. So it helps if you're feeling sadness, grief, despair, unloved, difficulty breathing, constriction, distrust. Breathe is going to be the oil for you. It will help you feel loved, cared for, received, being able to receive, courage to fully open and embrace life, feeling healed and feeling that solace. So love, breathe. It is just awesome. And then the breathe drops. I'm pretty sure this is the last one. So the breathe drops help maintain clear airways and breathing. I love my breathe drops. We've got these everywhere. They are going to support overall respiratory health, and they also help support mental clarity and function. The peppermint really just helps open up those airways, and as we get proper oxygen to our brain, we're able to think clearer, right? Oils in this product are lemon, peppermint, eucalyptus, thyme, melissa, and cardamom. So it doesn't have all the oils that the Breathe Blend has, but some of those oils are not recommended for internal use. And then the other ingredients are organic evaporated cane juice, organic brown rice syrup, and just those two. That's it. So they are a little sweet. And they really do help support the immune system as well. So I love these breathe drops. They very, very, very soothing for the respiratory system. Okay, so the difference, so it's a different type of eucalyptus. So there's different types of eucalyptus, and there are certain types that are marked for internal use. And I don't know which eucalyptus is which, because I just honestly never paid attention, because I'm going to let doTERRA choose that for me, because they know. So the Breathe Drops do not have all of the oils that are in the Breathe Blend. So they don't have Ravensara, they don't have laurel leaf, and it's just a different type of eucalyptus, Kim. So that's why that's there. So here are the ways to get the text reminders for the different online trainings that I have. Every Monday, I've got a weekly Q&A Zoom chat. This is not recorded. The Zoom chats are not recorded. This is where you can bring your non-compliant questions. And for 30 minutes, I am happy to help you. And then, of course, this weekly webinar series, which is every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then I have a monthly continuing education webinar. This month is on emergency preparedness. And so once you sign up for text reminders, you will get either a weekly or monthly text reminder, depending on the list, for those lists. So it's just a great way to stay in the loop if this is something that you are enjoying, and you're welcome to share them with your teams. So, and then of course, all the ways to connect with me online. So Ashley, if you want to be there on the text reminders, guys, if you want to receive weekly Q&A ones, you need to sign up for that list. If you want to receive reminders for this series, you need to sign up for that list. There are 3 different lists, because not everybody wants to hear from me 24/7. Some people love to hear from me 24/7, but not everybody wants to hear everything. So you can figure out which ones you want to sign up for, and you can sign up for the appropriate one. You're welcome to sign up for all of them, but not everybody wants to sign up for everything. So that's why I have separate lists for different purposes. And then here's all the ways to connect with me online. Friend me on Facebook, give my coaching page a like, and then of course Periscope and Twitter and Instagram. So thank you for joining me, guys. And I'm off. I got an appointment and I'm running late. So hopefully this was helpful. We'll see you next week for probably the C's and D's. And we will talk with you soon. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.